Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, May 9th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap the weekend's NBA, NHL, MLB, NASCAR races, golf, you name it, everything from the weekend. And look ahead to everything going on tonight, NBA, Stanley Cup, baseball. I'm going to do my 2021 NFL redraft. We'll recap last night's episode of American Idol. We'll go over the news and notes and best bet. We're going to start the NBA playoffs. Very interesting weekend. We'll begin with Friday and work our way to Monday, which is tonight. Friday night, 76ers over the Heat, 99-79 to make it a 2-1 series. Mavericks over the Suns, 103-94 to make it a 2-1 series. Saturday, Bucks over the Celtics, 103-101 to make it for the Bucks to take a 2-1 series lead. And the Warriors over the Grizzlies, 142-112 to take a 2-1 series lead. And then yesterday, Mavericks over the Suns, 111-102 to tie the series at 2 apiece. And the 76ers over the Heat, 116-108 to tie the series at 2 apiece. And now we look ahead to tonight. 7:30 on TNT, you have the Celtics and the Bucks. My projection is Milwaukee by a quarter, total 220 and 11/20. And it's 1 and 212.5. I like the over. I know Chris Middleton's still out, but I think in this game 4, I think both teams are going to open up and shoot more threes. I actually think that Boston's going to win this game outright. They should have won on Saturday, but Giannis and the Bucks got a couple favorable whistles. So, the Celtics came close, even with Jason Tatum playing as bad as he did. So I'm going to say the Celtics bounce back and win tonight to even up this baby at 2 apiece, but my play here will be the over. And then 10 o'clock on TNT, you have the Grizzlies and the Warriors. My projection is Golden State by 8 3/4, so 221 3/5, and it's 10 224. I like the under. No John Morant is a problem. I think that it's going to hurt Memphis offensively. And I believe that Golden State's just better than Memphis, especially without Ja Morant there. I get it. The Grizzlies went 20-5 without Ja, but most of that was against bad teams. So I'm going to throw that out. I think the Warriors steamroll them if Ja's out again. I really like the under because Memphis' offense might be Swiss cheese without Ja Morant. So I really like the under in that spot. All right, now I'll move on to the Stanley Cup Playoffs. We'll go over the weekend's games and look ahead to a very enticing window for tonight. Friday night, Bruins over the Hurricanes, 4-2 to make it a 2-1 series. Maple Leafs over the Lightning, 5-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. Wild over the Blues, 5-1 to take a 2-1 series lead. Oilers over the Kings, 8-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. Saturday, Capitals over the Panthers, 2-1 to take a 2-1 series lead. Avalanche over the Predators, 7-3 to take a 3-0 series lead. Penguins over the Rangers, 7-4 to take a 2-1 series lead. And that wasn't even an indicator on how close the game was. There was 2 empty nets. And the Stars over the Flames, 4-2 to take a 2-1 series lead. Sunday, Bruins over the Hurricanes, 5-2 to tie the series at 2. Blues over the Wild, 5-2 to tie the series at 2. Lightning over the Maple Leafs, 7-3 to tie the series at 2. And the Kings over the Oilers, 4-0 to tie the series at 2. Now I look ahead to tonight's games. 7 o'clock on TBS, you have the Panthers and the Capitals. I believe this will be Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk and company, which is surprising. But at the same time, not, because the Ranger game's on ESPN. The Panthers are minus 188. The Capitals are plus 155. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 134. Unders plus 110. Panthers minus 1.5 is plus 134. Capitals plus 1.5 is minus 162. I like the under, but I don't feel good about it. I think that Sergei Bobrovsky will play better. And this is what the bet is on. On ESPN, you have the Rangers and the Penguins. It's a pick'em. The over-under is 6, -110 each way. Rangers -1/2 is +235. Penguins +1/2 is -295. If you're telling me you can get the Rangers out of pick'em at -110 on the road, I'm doing it. Igor Shesterkin will bounce back. I think the Rangers special teams will bounce back. Louis Domingue was okay. But the reason why they won that game is because their special teams were better. That just plain and simple. Pittsburgh special teams are better than the Rangers special teams on Saturday night. I think that could change here. Give you the Rangers to win tonight to even up this baby at 2 apiece. 9:30 ESPN, the Avalanche and the Predators. Avs -255, Preds +205, over under 6.5. Overs -138, unders +112. Avs -1/2 is +102. Preds +1/2 is -122. I think the Avalanche probably close out tonight. The question is, do they blow them out, or does Nashville give one last hurrah at home? I'm looking at Avs first period puck line -1/2 at +112, or first period result Avs +114. Ties intriguing at +110 as well. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the puck line -1/2 at +112 for the first period. At 9:30 on TBS, you have the Flames and the Stars. The Flames are -156. Dallas is +130. Over under 5.5. Overs +104. Unders -128. Flames -1/2 is +168. Dallas +1/2 is -205. This went over in the last game. This number went over because of their empty net. I'm going to go Calgary in regulation at +105, but I don't feel good about it. All right, Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games from the weekend and look ahead to the games coming up today. Friday, White Sox over the Red Sox 4-2, Brewers over the Braves 6-3, Astros over the Tigers 3-2, Twins over the A's 2-1, Angels over the Nats 3-0, D-backs over Rockies 4-1, Padres over the Marlins 3-2, Rays over the Mariners 8-7, Cardinals over the Giants 3-2. There's so many games that were postponed. Dodgers, Cubs, Pirates, Reds were made up on Saturday. Royals, Orioles, Rangers, Yankees made up on Sunday. By the way, Blue Jays, Guardians was made up on Saturday too. And then Mets, Phils is August 20th. All right, Saturday. Doubleheader game 1. Reds over the Pirates 9-2. Doubleheader game 1. Dodgers over the Cubs 7-0. Twins over the A's 1-0. Doubleheader game 1. Blue Jays over the Guardians 8-3. Astros over the Tigers 3-2. White Sox over the Red Sox 3-1. Doubleheader game 2. Guardians over the Blue Jays 8-2. Doubleheader game 2. Pirates over the Reds 8-5. Giants over the Cardinals 13-7. Braves over the Brewers 3-2. Doubleheader game 2. Dodgers over the Cubs 6-2. Rockies over the D-backs 4-1. Marlins over the Padres 8-0. Nats over the Angels 7-3, and the Rays over the Mariners 8-2. Mets Phillies postponed makeup date was yesterday. And the Royals, Orioles, and Rangers Yankees made up yesterday. Oh no, they're making up today. My bad. And then results from yesterday: White Sox over the Red Sox 3-2. Phillies over the Mets 3-2, doubleheader game 1. Doubleheader game 1, Royals over the Orioles 6-4. Braves over the Brewers 9-2. Doubleheader game 1, Yankees over the Rangers 2-1 on the walk-off homer by Gleyber Torres. Reds over the Pirates 7-3. Guardians over the Blue Jays 4-3. Astros over the Tigers 5-0. Twins over the A's 4-3. Giants over the Cardinals 4-3. Doubleheader game 2. Mets over the Phils 6-1. Angels over the Nats 5-4. D-backs over the Rockies 4-0. Padres over the Marlins 3-2. Mariners over the Rays 2-1-10. Rangers over the Yankees 4-2 and get doubleheader game 2. Doubleheader game 2. Orioles over the Royals 4-2. And on Sunday Night Baseball, the Dodgers over the Cubs 7-1 to complete the sweep. Now we look ahead to the games for today. 12 o'clock. Makeup game from Saturday. Royals-Orioles. Carlos Hernandez and Tyler Wells. Orioles minus 130. Royals plus 110. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 115. Others minus 105. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 205. Orioles minus 1.5 is plus 168. I'm going to go with the over. 1 o'clock makeup game from Saturday. Rangers-Yankees. John Gray and Nestor Cortez. Yanks minus 220. Rangers plus 184. Over under 7.5. Overs plus 102. Unders minus 124. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 118. Yankees minus 1.5 is minus 102. Love the over. I think the Yankee offense, this is the day where it bounces back. John Gray's been terrible this year. Yankees are going over by themselves. 6:30 Dodgers-Pirates. Julio Urias and Jose Quintana. Dodgers 245. Pirates 2-1. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 137. Pittsburgh plus 1.5 is plus 114. I like the under a lot in this game. I think that the Dodgers will do just enough. Pittsburgh won't do anything. Brewers-Reds. Brendan Woodruff and Luis Castillo making his season debut. Brewers minus 186. Reds plus 156. Over under 7. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Brewers minus 1.5 is minus 22. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 118. First half run line. Kind of like Reds first half run line. Plus a half at minus 102. Just to keep it somewhat in the ballpark. 7 o'clock, you have the A's and the Tigers. Paul Blackburn and Michael Pineda. Detroit minus 130. Oakland plus 112. Over unders 7. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. A's plus 1.5 is minus 200. Tigers minus 1.5 is plus 164. Tough one. I'm going to go under 3.5 total first half runs at even money. 8 o'clock, Guardians, White Sox. Zach Plesac and Michael Kopech. White Sox minus 180, Guardians plus 152, over under 7.5, overs minus 104, unders minus 118. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 146, White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 122. The White Sox have turned it around a little bit, which is a good thing. It's good for baseball that they turned it around. I'm going to do the same thing. Under 3.5 total runs. First half. Plus 118. 9:30. Rays Angels. Jeffrey Springs and Noah Syndergaard. I'm quickly going to check if DraftKings has the game. Because I don't see it on FanDuel. They do. Angels minus 130, Rays plus 110, over under 7.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Rays plus 1.5 is minus 190. Angels minus 1.5 is plus 160. I love Tampa. The Rays are going to win this game outright tonight. Cubs Padres, Kyle Hendricks and Mackenzie Gore. The Padres, I'm sure, are favored in this game. They are minus 145, Cubs plus 125, over under 7. Overs even money. Unders minus 120. Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 170. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 150. I'm going to go with the over. Kyle Hendricks has not been good this year. I'm not saying the Padres will go over by themselves, but I just like the over. You can see this being 5-3. Marlins D-backs. Alicia Hernandez and Humberto Castellanos. Marlins minus 118. D-backs even money over under 8.5. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 134. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 162. I love the D-backs at even money. Phillies Mariners. Ranger Suarez and Chris Flexen. Mariners minus 120. Phillies plus 102. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 225. Mariners minus 1.5 is plus 184. Tough one. But I like over 7.5. And 9:45 Rockies Giants. Austin Gomber and Carlos Rodon. Giants minus 270. Rockies plus 220. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 111. Giants minus 1.5 is minus 108. I love the Rockies plus 1.5 and minus 111. I think that is a steal. Each team is 16-12. Carlos Rodon's really good, but Austin Gomber hasn't been bad either. Both these teams have the same record. So it's crazy to suggest that the Giants are that much better than the Rockies. I won't be shocked if the Rockies win this game outright. All right, now we'll go over Major League Soccer from the weekend. Interesting results, which we'll get to. There's some big games for this early in the season. So, without further ado, let's hit them all. Saturday, Charlotte over Miami, 1-0. Montreal over Orlando, 4-1. Atlanta over Chicago, 4-1. NYCFC and KC, 0-0. Red Bulls Portland, 1-1 draw. DC over Houston, 2-0. New England, Columbus, 2-2 draw. Cincinnati over Minnesota, 1-0. Dallas over Seattle, 2-0. San Jose over Colorado, 1-0. And LAFC Philly, 2-2 draw. Sunday, Vancouver over Toronto, 1-0. Nashville over Salt Lake, 2-0. And LA Galaxy over Austin, 1-0. All right, WNBA. That started over the weekend, so we'll get into that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think... No games tonight. Just games from the weekend. Friday, Commissioner's Cup, Mystics over Fever, 84-70. Sparks over Sky, 98-91 in overtime. Commissioner's Cup, Aces over Mercury, 106-88. Commissioner's Cup, Storm over Lynx, 97-74. Saturday, Commissioner's Cup, Liberty over the Sun, 81-79. Commissioner's Cup, Dream over the Wings, 66-59. And then Sunday, Sparks over the Fever, 87-77. Mystics over the Link, 78-66. And Commissioner's Cup, you have the Aces over the Storm, 85-74. All right, now I'm going to go over the golf from the weekend. It was the Wells Fargo. And your winner of this tournament with a score of 8 under, Max Homa. Tied for second with 6 under, Keegan Bradley, Cam Young, and Matt Fitzpatrick. Fifth with 4 under, Rory McIlroy. Tied for 6 with 3 under, Lucas Griffin, Stefan Yeager, and Anirban Lahiri. Tied for 9th with 2 under, JT Potson, Brian Harmon, Adam Shank, Stuart Sink, James Hahn, and Mackenzie Hughes. Tied for 15th with 1 under, Chester V, Nate Taylor, Chung Sun Pong, Jason Day, Jonathan Vegas, and Kurt Katayama. Tied at 21st at even, Corey Connors, Sergio Garcia, Ricky Fowler, and Chad Ramey. Now go through notables. Tied for 25th with 1 over. Lucas Donald, Matt Wolf, Kang Lee, Dylan McCarthy. Tied for 31st with 2 under. Luke List, Matthew Naismith, Russell Knox. Tied for 37th with 4 under. Siwoo Kim, Mariano Gillick, Sam Piercy, Tyrell Hatton. Tied for 41st with 5 over. Tony Finau, Rory Sabatini, Dolly Vanderwalt. Tied for 46th with 6 over. Dylan Fratelli. Tied for 49th with 7 over. Matt Kuchar. Tied for 51st with 8 over. Joel Dahman, Ben Martin. Tied for 56th with 9 over. Camilo Vegas, Abraham Manser. Tied for 59th with 10 over. Henrik Norlander, Ben Coles. And then among those cut, Sepp Straka, Aaron Ray, Danny Lee, Adam Long, Henry Higgs, Vincent Taylor, Brandon Hagee, Doug Gibb, Nate Watney, Francesco Molinari, Charlie Hoffman, Cam Piercy, Cam Davis, Kramer Hickok, Mark Leishman, Keith Mitchell, Taylor Gainey, Zach Johnson, Matt Wallace, Brandon Wu, Lucas Hodges, Kevin Tway, Wesley Bryant, David Lipsky, Webb Simpson, Matt Jones, Max Hubbard, Adam Svensson, Gary Woodland, Alex Smalley, Brian Stewart, Bryce Garnett, Brandon Grace, Joseph Brumlett, Vincent Whaley, Grayson Sigg, Tyler Duncan, Patrick Reed, Chasen Hadley, Bo Van Pelt, Richie Lorensky, Doc Redman, Max McGreevy, and among those that withdrew, Martin Trainer, Cam Thompson, and Nate Lashley. All right, now I'm going to go over the NASCAR results from the weekend. They raced at Darlington. So the trucks. Your winner was John Hunter Nemechek. Coming in second was Carson Hocevar. Third was Grant Effinger. Fourth, Ty Majeski. Fifth, Parker Kligerman. Sixth, Ryan Preece. Seventh, Zane Smith. Eighth, Tyler Ankrum. Ninth, Todd Bodine. 10th, Matt DiBenedetto. And the rest, Stuart Friesen, Colby Howard, Jesse Little, Dean Thompson, Timmy Hill, Christian X, Jack Wood, Derek Kraus, Lawless Allen, Chandler Smith, Danny Bone, Corey Heim, Spencer Boyd, Ben Rhodes, Ross Chasen, Austin Wayne Self, Josh Rume, Haley Deegan, Brennan Poole, Blaine Perkins, Tate Vogelman, Chris Wright, Tanner Gray, Chase Purdy, Akinroy Agata, and Matt Crafton. All right, now Xfinity. Your winner for this race, Justin Allgaier. Second, Noah Gragson. Third, Riley Herbst. Fourth, John Hunter Nemechek. Fifth, Sam Myers. Sixth, Landon Castle. Seventh, Brandon Jones. Eighth, AJ Allmendinger. Ninth, Austin Hill. 10th, Daniel Hemrick. The rest, Ryan Sieg, Kyle Weatherman, Brett Moffitt, Jeb Burton, Anthony Alfredo, Ty Gibbs, Tommy Joe Martins, Josh Berry, Alex Labb, Stephon Parsons, Ryan Vargas, Mason Massey, Bailey Curry, Patrick Gamerling, J.J. Yuli, Tyler Reddick, David Starr, Josh Balicki, Jeremy Clements, Ryan Truex, Matt Mills, Kyle Sieg, Timmy Hill, Josh Williams, Brandon Brown, Joe Graff Jr., Myatt Snyder, and Sheldon Creed. And now the Cup Series. Your winner yesterday, Joey Logano. Second, Tyler Riddick. Third, Justin Haley. Fourth, Kevin Harvick. Fifth, Chase Elliott. Sixth, Chris Bell. Seventh, Michael McDowell. Eighth, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Ninth, Austin Dillon. 10th, Daniel Suarez. The rest, Eric Almirola, Ty Dillon, William Byron, Harrison Burton, Todd Gilliland, Chris Boucher, Ryan Blaney, Austin Cindric, Cody Ware, Chase Briscoe, Denny Hamlin, Landon Castle, J.J. Yaley, Martin Truex Jr., Eric Jones, Cole Custer, Bubba Wallace, Kyle Busch, Alec Bowman, Ross Chasen, Daniel Henry, B.J. McLeod, Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Corey LaJoie, and Kyle Larson. Now I'm going to recap last night's episode of American Idol. It was a fun episode, to say the least. I really was impressed with a lot of the performances. They did 2 rounds of music, one for TikTok songs and the other for Mother's Day. So TikTok, Leah went first. She performed Electric Love by Borns. I thought she did an outstanding job with her performance. Jay went second. He performed I Have Nothing by Whitney Houston. He was tremendous. Fritz performed All My Friends, an original song, from his hotel room because he tested positive for COVID. Or no, they showed his rehearsal. That's what it was. So that's unfortunate for him. Hopefully he gets well soon. He did good. Christian performed Lonely by Justin Bieber. Then went Hunter Girl, You Broke Me First by Tate McRae. Noah performed Painted Blue by Sunday Best. And then Nicolina performed Alone by Heart. And Noah performed from his hotel room because he had tested positive for COVID. Second round was the Mother's Day round. Jay performed A Song for Mama by Boys to Men. Very inspiring and wonderful performance. Fritz, as his rehearsal, performed The Ocean by his original. Leah did Sanctuary by the Nashville Cast. She was good. Hunter Girl performed Like My Mother Does by Lauren Olena. Noah from his hotel room performed Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. Nicolina performed Light in the Hallway by Pentatonics. That was the best performance of the night. And Christian performed Dear God by Smoke Norfolk. Alright, so, who went home is the question. Christian and Jay. I thought both of them got robbed. I thought they were outstanding. And that's what happens when you're on American Idol in a loaded year like this. Like, somebody good is going to get voted off. But I personally thought it was going to be Fritz and Leah. And I think for Fritz's sake, I feel bad if he were to get voted off because he had COVID. And I would have felt bad if Noah got voted off too. But hey, they both did great and they both are advancing. And I thought Leah was okay. I didn't think she'd really have her best performances. Although she was great. So, moving on to the top 5 is Fritz, Leah, Hunter Girl, Noah, and Nicolina. That's a really good top 5. Idol will be back on Sunday this week because they don't have Monday episodes anymore. The finale will be on the 22nd. So that is good to know that they'll do top 5 and then the finale will be the top 3. So we'll revisit Idol on the Friday podcast. Alright, now I'm going to move on to news and notes. Breaking news coming from hockey. I am flabbergasted by this news. The New York Islanders have fired Barry Trotz after missing the postseason this year. What a mistake by the Islanders. This just proves that the Islanders are still the Islanders under this dysfunctional franchise despite winning these past couple of years other than this season. What a terrible move. Terrible. Barry Trotz, I think, had done a phenomenal job with the Islanders. I am outraged by this news. I might call up James Celestin tonight and ask him to come on for an emergency podcast. He's my Islanders expert. He's a diehard Islanders fan. I'm sure he's disgusted by this news, as am I, even though I'm a Rangers fan. I'm just disgusted because I feel bad for my Islander fan friends, even though I don't like the Islanders as a Ranger fan, but I feel bad for my Islander friends. This was ridiculous. Like, Barry Trotz did not deserve to get fired over one underachieving season. And that just goes to prove that you're always one bad year away from getting fired in any sport. There were rumors about Tom Thibodeau with the Knicks, but he survived because of the year they had the previous year. And the Knicks would have gotten killed if they fired Thibodeau, by the way. Just like the Islanders are getting killed right now, the Knicks would have been killed if they had fired Tom Thibodeau. But this is worse! This is worse! Because the Islanders had so much problems this year. Like, they had a ton of injuries. They had some COVID problems. Some guys underachieved. They finished above 500, but they didn't make the postseason. And the Islanders are supposed to be a win-now team. They were my pick to go to the Stanley Cup final before the year. That was a disaster. But Barry Trotz did not deserve to lose his job because of one bad season. Somebody good is going to hire him, and they're going to make the Islanders regret it. Like, if Pittsburgh loses to the Rangers, will Mike Sullivan get fired? Can't rule that out. He's been under pressure to succeed with Crosby and Malk. And I know they won a Stanley Cup several years ago, but they won back-to-back. But it wouldn't be stunning if they fired Mike Sullivan to hire Barry Trotz. Like, you're going to be seeing teams fire coaches now just to hire Barry Trotz. Like, that's how great Barry Trotz is. Like, the Islanders made a huge mistake here, and I'm outraged by this. So, I might have James on tonight or tomorrow to react to this news and talk about potential candidates to replace Trotz. Like, if the New Jersey Devils, this is a good opportunity for somebody like them to go out and hire Barry Trotz to replace Lindy Ruff. He would be a massive upgrade there, and Devil fans should be rooting for that. And I think the Devils and Barry Trotz would be a really good fit for that team. All right, other news. Nikola Jokic, second straight MVP, beating out Joel Embiid and Giannis. Good for Jokic. You can't go wrong with Jokic. Carried the Nuggets single-handedly to the postseason, avoiding the play-in game without Porter and Murray most of the year. So, gotta give it up for Jokic. I think Embiid should have won it personally because the 76ers went through hell with the Ben Simmons situation, and then James Harden really hasn't worked out either. And before the Simmons trade happened, Embiid really kept that team together. So I feel like Embiid, you can make a case, was robbed here, but you can't go wrong with Jokic. I'm not outraged that Jokic beat out Embiid because Jokic was a double-double machine and single-handedly carried the Nuggets to the postseason and avoided the play-in game in the process. The Sacramento Kings hired Mike Brown to be their new head coach. Mike Brown getting another opportunity. You can make a case raw deals with both the Cavaliers and the Lakers. Both his Cavs stints. He was one and done with the Cavs. I just think that LeBron doesn't like Mike Brown. That's why they fired him and brought in David Blatt instead, and they knew they were getting him. Like, I have conspiracy theories, or they thought they were getting him. And then the Lakers fired him because they underachieved out of the gate. And that's like my Barry Trotz case with the Islanders. I know the Lakers had a bad year, but they fired Mike Brown, like, really quick into the season. But a lot of people thought that they were hiring Phil, but they hired D'Antoni. But I'm happy for Mike Brown. I really am happy for Mike Brown to get this job. Speaking of the Lakers, they interviewed Mark Jackson. I don't really like Mark Jackson and a fit there. Mark Jackson, to me, is a guy that should go to a team that is rebuilding and is close to making the postseason like the Warriors were back in 2011-12 range, and then eventually he took them to the postseason. Like, that's the right team for Mark Jackson. I don't think the Lakers are that. Like, a team like, Sacramento wouldn't have been the worst thing for them. I think the Knicks a couple years ago would have made sense, but they went with the better choice in Tom Thibodeau. And that worked out for New York, even though it wasn't good this year. So yeah, I'm okay with Mike Brown being hired by the Lakers. So Raiders ex-president Dan Ventrell spoke out and he talked about the hostile work environment and was later fired by Mark Davis in retaliation. Brianna Stewart made some history, tying Diana Taurasi and Simone Augustus for second fastest to 3,000 points. So it was a fun WNBA weekend. Candace Parker says she's entering the season as if it'll be her last, and says, I don't know what the future holds. So we'll see about Candace Parker's future. I feel like that's going to be an interesting subplot throughout the season. An awkward F1 moment, as the interviewer thought Paolo Banchero was Patrick Mahomes. That was hilarious. UFC 274, Oliveira beat Ithage. So that was the result of the main event. And then Dimitri Bivol was a 4-1 underdog, knocked down Canelo Alvarez in a unanimous decision. John Morant probably isn't going to play tonight. And he took a shot at Steve Kerr with the video of Jordan Poole grabbing his knee. That series really has gotten interesting. And there's no punishment for John Morant either. Chris Paul's family was harassed as a Dallas fan, some Dallas fans put their hands on Paul's mother and pushed his wife during Game 4. Yikes. Giannis wasn't bashing the refs as he asks how much he'll get fined if he comments on officiating, and the media was asking. Jimmy Butler to Embiid, F yo mask, he writes on Instagram after Game 3. So we talked about John Morant likely being out. Joel Embiid came back Friday night and was amazing, and he was amazing in Game 4, and his return is the reason why this series is tied. Cubs place Marcus Stroman on the injury list, no designation. Byron Buxton day-to-day with the very lower level hip strain. Didi Gregorius on the 10-day injured list with a knee sprain. Carlos Correa avoiding the injured list due to a finger injury. Diamondbacks called up Alek Thomas yesterday, and the Twins called up Royce Lewis. So 2 young prospects finally seeing the show. The Lakers also interviewed Terry Stotts for their job. So the new Kobe Bryant in the NBA, the NFL, I'm reading the thing as he was named after Kobe, and I'm reading named after the NBA legend. That's why I had NBA in my head. So new Seahawks rookie Kobe Bryant to wear number 8 after Kobe, a nice jersey number to honor the Lakers legend. So Saquon Barkley graduated college, as he can add graduate of Penn State University to his resume after completing his degree. Darcy Kemper has an eye injury, so he missed Game 3. We'll see if he's out for Game 4 if the Preds can pull off a win. Casey DeSmith out for the rest of the postseason with getting core muscle surgery on Friday. So Domingue played on Saturday. He was okay. Pittsburgh won. And we talked about earlier, Pittsburgh won because of their special teams, not really because of anything else. I mean, they were clutch, obviously, too, but their special teams was a huge difference in this game. And some non-sports news, Jesse Williams is going to be back on Grey's Anatomy for one thrilling episode. So that's interesting. So Gabby Petito's mom sues Brian Laundrie's estate for wrongful death. So that's really it for news and notes. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Interesting slate of games. The there are some baseball ones I really liked for tonight. I've been on the FBI bandwagon all year. Love betting on the FBI underdogs or the teams they have as favored, and the dog is on FanDuel. In this case, it's Tampa Bay. I like the Rays plus 114 against the Angels and Noah Syndergaard tonight. So, best bet, the Rays plus 114 on the road at LA to knock off Noah Syndergaard and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. And by the way, Friday's best bet was a void because of the rain out between Cleveland and Toronto. So there you have it for today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything and looking ahead to tomorrow. Tomorrow we have some more gubernatorial stuff. I have a 2021 NFL mock draft, or redraft, my bad. And I hope you guys have a great day, everyone.